Hello, and welcome to this week's installment of Whether or Not. The nation has seen a very active week, and we'll bring you the latest news on severe weather and wildfires. The first week of our state college summer has been swelteringly hot, and you'll hear the forecast for the next week from Travis Patterson. We've got a lot to tell you, so let's jump straight into this week's episode of Whether or Not. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Tom Bedard.
And I'm your forecaster, Travis Patterson.
Travis, it's the first week of summer, and we have really felt it. It has been hot and humid.
It has been sweltering. Officially, summer began this past Friday at 1:04 a.m. Eastern Time, and the calendar has been right in tune with the weather. We saw several days in the upper 80s, even hitting that 90-degree mark this past Monday. A few showers still remain this weekend, however. There's a little bit of relief as we're not dealing with those such humid conditions.
Well, that sounds good. So the coming week doesn't look too bad at all. Now, keeping in mind this week is National Lightning Safety Week, let's turn it now to Nature in the News to learn some about what's happened this past week, but also how to remain safe during a thunderstorm. Starting off our march of stories on severe weather and heat is an explanation of a common meteorological feature called the jet stream. You've heard it mentioned once or twice in your Whether or Not forecasts, and you've undoubtedly heard it mentioned on news and private TV weather stations. But what does it actually mean? Let's start off with the basics. A jet stream is an area of fast-flowing wind around 30 to 40,000 feet above the surface. The nation's weather is affected by the polar and subtropical jet stream. The polar jet stream is farther north than the subtropical jet stream and can be found at a higher elevation. Both jet streams, although having different names and locations, are both formed by great temperature differences between the North Pole and the equator. So after all that science, what's important to remember about jet streams? They drive the weather. When a jet stream dips over a region, like the polar jet will next week over Pennsylvania, it's safe to say that the temperatures will be cooler than average. When they ridge over a region, expect it to be warmer. Extended periods of warm weather, like we're expecting now, can wreak havoc on dry regions of the United States.
One particularly drought-stricken state is Colorado. The state saw a very low amount of snow and rain over the past spring and winter, allowing the soil and agriculture to become dry. The dried and dead scrub bushes and trees in the forested regions of Colorado have become the focal point for wildfire prevention starting many months ago. Emergency managers and fire weather meteorologists have been concerned about the possibility of a record-breaking wildfire season, and now that concern turns to reality. The nearly 1,000 wildland firefighters working on the blazes in southwest Colorado have been working without the use of any aerial fire apparatus support due to extremely high winds. The winds have grounded thousands of flights and helped fuel the Black Forest wildfire. The fire has been deemed the most damaging fire in the state's history by destroying over 16,000 acres and burning nearly 400 homes.
Beginning in Colorado on Monday night and charging its way to the East Coast, a strong complex of thunderstorms caused serious damage in the Midwest on Tuesday. The storm flooded streets in Mechanicsburg, Iowa, blew over trees in Omaha, Nebraska, and blackened the sky over Chicago, Illinois just before sunset on Monday. Wind gusts on the leading edge of the storm reached 69 miles an hour at Omaha's airport, while over an inch of rain dropped before passing. The storm is being called a derecho by some outlets, and it certainly meets the criteria. For a complex of thunderstorms to be officially deemed a derecho, it must live for over 6 hours and contain winds that are over 58 miles an hour, or 50 knots, at the leading edge of the storm. We'll have to wait for the official National Weather Service analysis of the storm to find out for sure if it was a derecho. It was only 2 weeks ago that major news outlets reported a derecho forecast from Chicago to Washington, D.C. The storm didn't quite meet the criteria, but Bureau video sent into our station shows that it packed quite a punch when it came through State College. Official Penn State observations clocked the storm's winds at 59 miles an hour with nearly an inch of rain falling in just 30 minutes.
When thunder roars, go indoors. It's not quite as catchy as turn around, don't drown, but the message is essential for you to remember. Thunderstorms often strike State College during the summer months when the heat and humidity are high during the afternoon hours. Heavy rain, wind, hail, and the infrequent tornado can accompany these storms, But one of the most critical threats to your outdoor activity this season is lightning. Able to strike any location within 10 miles of the storm, lightning presents a danger even if a storm grazes your location. You may look at a radar and decide that a storm will just nearly miss the area you were hoping to camp or fish in, but that does not make it safe to be outdoors. The best rule to remember is that if you can hear thunder or see lightning, then you should be indoors.
If you're out and about this summer, you should know safety tips and first aid for lightning strikes. The best shelter when you hear thunder or see lightning is indoors. If you're not able to be indoors, it is safe to be in an automobile, though be cautious of high winds, heavy rain, or tornadoes. If you find yourself hiking or fishing, it's best to find a way out of open areas with no tall objects. If you find yourself on high ground, seek a lower elevation. The absolute worst place to be in central Pennsylvania during a thunderstorm is while fishing on a boat in a lake. Move inland if you're caught in a storm. Now, first aid in the case of a lightning strike starts with the simple idea that once the flash is over, the electricity is gone. If you or a friend are struck, move to a safe area. Check the individual and see if they have a pulse or if they're breathing. If they're not, it is important to start CPR or rescue breathing immediately. In any case, call 911 after you are in a location that is safe from lightning. Lightning can and does strike the same location twice. Now up next to see if we have any lightning or thunderstorms in general in our forecast, here's Travis Patterson.
Well, Tom, there are plenty of chances to see some lightning bolts out there this weekend and continuing all the way into next week. That's thanks to the summer-like pattern that we're moving into this weekend. Let's take a look at the setup for this weekend. A huge deep trough will dig into the northeast and really hold on tight and not budge this weekend. Also notice that there is a southward dip in the jet stream indicated by these blue arrows here. That will allow for much more unsettled weather to move into our region, and we will be dealing with some afternoon to early evening pop-up thunder showers. Really every day a chance of rain for our region, but we do need the rain here in central Pennsylvania. But let's break it down with some more details on your forecast. Starting out with Friday, much cooler, a high of around 76 degrees Friday afternoon, still dealing with mostly cloudy skies and a thunderstorm in our area after that organized system moved through on Thursday. Then as we head into the overnight hours of Friday, we dip down to around 61 degrees, which is average for this last weekend in June, and those showers will tend to end out and fizzle out of our region on Friday night. Then as we head into Saturday afternoon, we warm up back to average at around 80 degrees, still dealing with those scattered thunder showers. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's thanks to the weather pattern they're in. We can see chances for some thunder showers really every day this weekend and continuing into next week. Then again, over Saturday night, we start to clear out, but we will be left with mostly cloudy skies and a low dipping down to around 62 degrees overnight Saturday. Then as we head into Sunday, we warm right back up to around 82 degrees. It'll be noticeably less humid, but we still have a chance for a late afternoon to early p.m. thunder shower in our neck of the woods. So definitely stay safe out there and keep an eye out for lightning this weekend. Christy is up next with more.
June is National Rivers and Stream Month. I'm here at Whipple Dam State Park, just minutes outside of State College, enjoying the day by the water. Pennsylvania has around 83,000 miles, streams, lakes, and rivers to enjoy. These rivers, streams, and lakes provide many resources of irrigation water, drinking water, and recreational activities. Fresh water can seem abundant, but in actuality there is not much worldwide. If all the water in the world could fit into a plastic gallon jug, only a tablespoon of that would be fresh water. To protect the world's supply of fresh water, there is a lot we can do. First would be to cut back on how much we use. It has been reported the average American wastes 10,000 gallons of water every year. Try to fix leaks around the house or take shorter showers. Also, to ensure the quality of fresh water, make sure to use fertilizers on a day when rain isn't forecasted so that the pesticides do not go into storm drains where it is directly transported to our waterways. The best part of having these rivers, lakes, and dams in Pennsylvania is to go and enjoy the outdoors. I caught up with a few visitors at Whipple State Park to see what their favorite water activities are. I'm here with Justin Seltzer, an architectural engineering student at Penn State who is here visiting Whipple Dam Park on this gorgeous day. Justin, what is your favorite water activity to participate in?
Well, I grew up loving fishing. My family's really into kayaking and sailboating. My dad just bought a sailboat, so I'm pretty excited to get out on the water with that. But I really like beaches. Beaches are probably my favorite water activity.
Well, that is awesome. Do you have a favorite temperature that you like to go sailing in?
A nice sunny, warm day with a little breeze is probably the best day to get out on the water.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you. So I have Eli here, and I wanted to know, what is your favorite water activity? Do you like swimming, fishing?
Fishing.
Fishing's your favorite? Do you like to catch big fish?
Mm-hmm.
Do you go a lot?
No, sometimes.
Well, thank you, Eli. If you want to go splashing about like the guests here at Whipple Dam State Park, you can visit www.dcnr.state.pa.us to find a park near you. Also, if you are from the State College area, there are a few other parks nearby and some streams. They are Greenwood Furnace State Park, Penn Roosevelt State Park, Black Shannon State Park, and Bald Eagle State Park. And if you're planning on going to a creek or river, there's the Mahannon Creek, the Juniata River, Penns Creek, and the West Branch of the Susquehanna River. For Whether or Not, I'm Christy Shields.
Time now to take one last look at your weekend forecast and the extended forecast ahead. We are in that summer-like pattern where we could see pop-up afternoon to early evening thunder showers, and that's the story for this weekend. Starting with Friday, we have those storms lingering around in the afternoon hours, a little bit cooler with a high of around 76 degrees in the afternoon. Back up to average on Saturday, still that chance for a scattered thunderstorm in our area. Then on Sunday, it'll be noticeably less humid, but still that chance for a PM stray shower in our neck of the woods. Still, that unsettled weather remains for the first week of July with your extended forecast. The first half of the week starting out with more clouds than sun, still afternoon to evening thunder showers around a few degrees above average for the first half of the week. Noticeably cooler as we head towards the latter half of the week, still a chance for showers around for your 4th of July forecast.
And Travis, the forecast that you have for next week looks much better than this week. Lower temperatures and even slightly lower humidity.
Yeah, back down to average. We still have some thunderstorms in the forecast. The first half of the week will be Mother Nature's natural noisemakers. However, we have our day with our human noisemakers on Thursday at 4th of July.
Well, and speaking of lightning and thunder, it's a good opportunity to segue now into the Weather Whiz Quiz. Which activity results in the most lightning-related injuries during a thunderstorm? Is it A, golf, B, fishing, C, lacrosse, or D, badminton? And the answer is B, fishing, which is particularly dangerous for this part of Pennsylvania because it's well known to be fisherman's heaven here.
That's right, and part of that reason also has to do with when you're on a boat, you're surrounded by an expanse of water, so really you're the only tall thing out there, and the lightning tends to find you.
And that's right, and so fishing can be particularly dangerous during a thunderstorm, so make sure if you hear thunder or if you see lightning, even if you're having a fantastic day, go inside, wait for it to pass, and come back out after the storm has safely passed. And I've heard rumors that fishing may even be better after the passing of a thunderstorm. And that's a good place to leave us off this week. I'm your host, Tom Bedard.
And I'm your forecaster, Travis Patterson. Stay safe.